was Toumani Diabaté performing Elyne Road. We've completely replaced the audio of that performance with our contact version of the Kora. The Kora is a fascinating instrument, but it is quite hard to classify. It's somewhere between a harp and a lute. It's constructed from a large gourd, which is cut in half and then has cowhide stretched over it. This acts as the resonator. There are then 21 strings which are suspended on a notched bridge, so it is technically classified as a bridge harp. The strings are arranged 10 on one side of the bridge and 11 on the other side of the bridge, and the traditional playing technique is to pick out the backing bass line with the thumbs and the melody with the forefingers on each hand. It is an African instrument. It was originated in the Gambia, but is widely played in Senegal, Mali, and across the continent. Let's take a quick tour of the contact instrument itself. You'll see on the main screen here we have level controls for our stereo mic pair and our contact mic. These blend together very well. We've included a contact mic, not just because it blends well, but because the Kora is often used with pickups and amplification, and the contact mic serves as a kind of DI output from the Kora and works very well if you want to use it with an amp sim and so on. We do have some presets here for electric Koras and so on. Now let's take a look at an unusual feature of this library, which is the Midi player. Now we've included this because, as I mentioned earlier, the Kora is traditionally played by using the thumbs to pick out the backing melody, which is known as the kumbengo, and the fingers to pick out the main lead melody. So we've included a Midi pattern player to enable this kind of performance. As you see here, this is the player, and we've got a set of 20 traditional patterns here. We've got one here from Elyne Road, the demo we just heard. We play it by enabling the play arrow here. Now there's quite a lot you can do to modify these patterns. You can set it to half speed, or indeed double speed. And this is of course synced to your main DAW tempo. You can transpose it. You can adjust the velocity of the pattern. You can also swing the pattern now, and you can choose whether to do this just on the 8th notes or all the 16ths. Now once you've got the pattern the way you like it, you can click on this icon here, as in all our products, and you can just drag that into your DAW, which is enormously useful, of course. Okay, there's another authentic Kora performance detail that we've modelled that I really want to show you, and that is the ditero, which is a kind of damped accent. The player, immediately after plucking a string, will then damp it with his nail, and this gives a kind of buzzed mute effect, which is quite nice. And we've sampled that as well. This is triggered with a key switch. You can see it here. We've got it on the low C. Do have an option to put it on a high C or a low A if you just want to get it out of the way. We've got it on the low C. I've got some Midi here in Cubase. I've got a nice performance a nice Kora performance that Dan has modelled. Just play a little bit of this. Now this, I should just say, this has the diteros in place here on C1. Here's our performance. Just one thing to mention, we do get asked this quite a lot. We get asked if we've sampled our products with room reverb or whatever. No, we generally do them very, very dry, and that's the case here. So let me just switch off the convolution reverb. It's just a bit of the dry sound, which I think you'd agree is very nice as well. We've got a scoring stage IR here. Oh, that was just switching itself in. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this performance is just delete all of the key switch data for the Ditero, and that will enable me to just play it live on my keyboard here, and you'll get an idea of what that sounds like. We do have a control for the accent level here of it. So I'm just switching it in and out. I can increase the level just to make it more obvious. Okay, hopefully it gives you an idea. It's a really nice little performance detail that we've included there. Let's take a look at some of the other control options you've got here. The options tab, we've got the velocity curve, so you can vary which set of samples your sequence is hitting, is how I like to think of it. So let's just play. So if we bring this right down, you get a completely different feel to the performance, and you're hitting all those lower end velocity samples. You can bring it right up, you get a harder, brighter feel. You can really fine tune things with this. You know, you can limit the low end, so you won't hear any velocities lower than a 37. Can be quite creative there. We have some humanized controls here, which we have set as a default. We have them set pretty low. They're quite nice if you just have them on all the time, and they don't kind of get in the way enough that you notice them, but it will just give everything a slightly more human, looser feel. So let's take a look. If I crank the timing way back up to 100, you hear it's gone all over the place. If we randomize the velocity, you'll hear the wrong bits start to jump out at higher values. Okay, we've got the dampers, the key off settings here have been sampled, and you can increase the level of those. You hear those start to jump out. Or you just completely remove them, which if you're doing a kind of more of a sound design type sound or a piece, you may not want those happening. And again, as I said, accent control. The main instrument, the rest of the instrument, there are our standard controls. We always include a comprehensive envelope. You've got velocity to attack here, which we have set up on this patch. So just to explain how this works, if we back that all the way off, then you'll hear the attack setting as it is here, which is softened. But if you program a softer response and then increase velocity to attack up to 100, this just means that with a harder velocity you'll get the full attack. It'll bring it back down to 0. But it does give you the option of just softening the attack at lower velocities, which you may or may not want. Filters. We always include a comprehensive filter section. You can choose all of Contact's filters, and they can be interesting to experiment with on an instrument like this. We have an LFO section, so you could build some tremolo effects. That kind of thing. Micro tuning. I do go into some detail in other videos about this, but just to say, to enable it, you do need to click this little power button here. Once you enable that, your micro tuning mode is on. You can play with some African tunings, a Gambian traditional tuning, or you can completely retune the whole instrument note by note in octaves or not, if you're so inclined. There we are, and that would just leave our standard effects section. A lot of NI effects in here. I've talked about it in other videos. You get a great list of different inserts. Some of these are fantastic. The replica delay is fantastic. Supercharger compressor is great, and you've got cabinet options as well. If you wanted to go for a kind of electric Kora type sound, or you've got screamer, twang, and jump. Can't remember which ones are these. Twang, jump. That's probably not exactly it, but you get the idea. An EQ, not much to say. And here is our custom IR selection, which has grown quite mature over the years. You get IRs from All Saints Hall, where we recorded the choir. You get a lot of possibilities here. And stereo width. You can really push that out to the edges. And saturation. Okay, I think that covers it all. It's a really, really detailed, expressive instrument, and I hope you get a chance to try it. Thanks for watching.